Khamzat Chimaev.
Hey, so what now? Say something! So what now? I all you boys! This is Chechnya,
Right through.
I'm most dangerous guy here. I gotta come for everyone. I kill everybody. Allah Akbar.
2020, Khamzat Chimaev was a freak of nature, decimating his opponents and catching the eyes of many UFC fans.
Do you know who Khamzat Chimaev is?
Yes.
That's another guy that everybody's like, I can't wait to see that motherfucker fight again. Can he fight again tomorrow?
I want to see him fight too.
Can he fight tomorrow?
There was no question that Khamzat was going to be something special in the UFC. He had all the attributes to become a champion in 2 different weight classes, and potentially even 3. So how did he go from this rapid rise to promoting crypto schemes, battling health issues, and even associating with a Russian warlord? Something dark is unfolding with Khamzat Chimaev, and it might lead to one of the biggest what-ifs in UFC history. Khamzat Chimaev was born into a war-torn Chechnya.
For those that don't know, what was going on in Chechnya around the time you were born?
It was war. A war is like war against Russia.
For many years, Chechnya fought for independence from Russia, leading to a civil war that claimed many lives. In 2013, Khamzat and his mother decided to leave Chechnya for a better life and joined his older brother in Stockholm, Sweden. There, Khamzat began competing in wrestling competitions, showcasing his exceptional athleticism and winning multiple Swedish national championships. After dominating in wrestling, Khamzat transitioned to MMA, dedicating himself fully in hopes of providing his mother with a better life. While some may use the phrase living at the gym metaphorically, Khamzat was quite literally living at the gym.
So when you say you were sleeping in the gym, were you actually like sleeping there every night?
No, I slept there 3 years.
He immersed himself in training 3 times a day, fueled by the horrors of his childhood. His intense training schedule laid the foundation for his professional MMA debut in 2018, where he embarked on an impressive 4-0 streak. Among his victories was a notable win over Ikram Aliskerov, showcasing his emerging dominance in the sport. Khamzat's dominant performances caught the attention of UFC CEO Dana White, and in July 2020, the UFC signed Khamzat to a multi-fight contract. Less than a month after signing, Khamzat was set to face off against John Phillips, where he finished him with a Darce choke in round 2. However, Khamzat wasn't satisfied at all. He was hungry and he demanded another fight. Dana quickly satisfied his hunger by scheduling another fight just 10 days later. Despite the global situation at the time, Khamzat stayed prepared and unfazed. UFC fans witnessed Khamzat step into the octagon for a second time in 2 weeks, delivering yet another impressive performance. After 2 impressive back-to-back wins, there was no question that he was going to be a problem for the welterweight division, claiming that he would smash anyone and anywhere.
How many fighters in the MMA division? I can smash all the whole division.
1 month later, Khamzat would go on to tack on another impressive win against Gerald Meerschaert, knocking him out in 17 seconds. After only 3 months of being in the UFC, Khamzat would accumulate an impressive 3-0 record, finishing all 3 of his opponents. There was no doubt that Khamzat was going to be a superstar in the UFC. However, things took a sharp turn. In late 2020 and early 2021, the UFC attempted to schedule a fight between Khamzat Chimaev and Leon Edwards on 3 different occasions, but each attempt failed due to both fighters contracting COVID. However, Khamzat would take a huge hit from this disease. The complications and symptoms were so bad that Khamzat reportedly thought he was going to die.
He can't train. His friends called me and like, hey, Khamzat can't even speak, you know. His fever is so high, his headache is so much, you know, muscle pain and everything. And then an ambulance came and got him to the hospital, you know. And even when he was in the hospital, he called me like when he called me, he thought he was going to die.
This took a huge toll on his body, and in March 2021, Khamzat announced his retirement from the UFC, shocking the MMA world. It was looking like the end for Khamzat Chimaev, until one man got in contact with him and flew him back to Chechnya. This man was Ramzan Kadyrov, one of the most dangerous men. He's the head of Chechnya and an infamous warlord who has strong ties with Russia and Vladimir Putin. Ramzan used his authority and power to meet with superstars like Floyd Mayweather. As a passionate combat sports enthusiast, Ramzan was determined not to let a fighter from Chechnya give up easily. He was often seen sparring with Khamzat and showered him with new cars as a sign of their friendship. However, this friendship would make it hard for Khamzat to get a visa to fight in the US, and it would ultimately put him in a bad light. After a year away, Khamzat returned to the UFC in October 2021, showing no signs of having missed a beat. He ragdolled his opponent and submitted him with a rear naked choke in round 1. Khamzat was back like he never left. After an impressive track record, it was time to see what Khamzat was truly made of. So in April 2022, at UFC 273, the UFC gave Khamzat his toughest opponent yet. Gilbert Burns was ranked number 2 in the welterweight division at the time. This 3-round fight was an absolute war, with both fighters trading shots like it was their last fight. After one of the most entertaining 3 rounds, Khamzat won by a controversial majority decision. Despite winning the fight, this was the most human Khamzat had looked in his entire MMA career. 5 months later, Khamzat was set to fight a UFC fan favorite, Nate Diaz. Initially, Nate didn't want to fight Khamzat.
Khamzat Chimaev.
Yeah, they're coming at me with him, and I'm like, hold on, don't disrespect me like that. You're gonna put me, just try to offer me a fight with a rookie. I'm cool.
But this was his last fight on the contract, so in September 2022, Nate Diaz settled to fight Khamzat Chimaev at UFC 279. This fight was going to be huge, featuring 2 guys who knew how to put on a show. Hell, Dana White even had to cancel the press conference between the two because of an altercation backstage, and many fans were put off by this.
What I didn't want to do is have all these guys come out there together. It would have been bad. The Diaz camp showed up with 57 people. Khamzat's team had 30-something people, and then you had multiple guys going on back here. It was crazy. It was absolutely nuts back here.
The fight was set until Khamzat stepped on the scale the day of the weigh-ins and missed weight by a staggering 7.5 pounds.
178 and a half.
Not that bad.
Ultimately, the fight wouldn't take place and Khamzat was given a new opponent, Kevin Holland. Despite showcasing an impressive finish by submitting Holland in round 1, him missing weight and flipping off the fans wasn't a good look.
Hey, this is Chechen, motherfucker. Shut up, guys. I'll fuck you boy up. I'm fucking backstage as well.
This is where Khamzat started to kill his own hype. 2023 had come around and Khamzat wasn't the active fighter he once was, fighting only once a year partly due to his ties with Ramzan Kadyrov, which made it hard to get a fight booked in the US. We would finally see Khamzat fight at UFC 294 in Abu Dhabi against Kamaru Usman, who took the fight on a 10 days notice. Despite the short notice, this was going to be the biggest name that Khamzat had faced. Although Khamzat started off the fight with an impressive takedown, he looked human once again. The fight would go to decision with Khamzat winning by majority decision. However, in an alternate universe, if Kamaru Usman had a full training camp ahead and if this was a 5-round fight, Khamzat would have taken his first loss. It's been 9 months since Khamzat's last fight, and he was set to face another killer, Robert Whittaker, in June. However, just days before the fight, Khamzat pulled out due to severe illness. Images of him in the hospital flooded social media, sparking speculation that this could be the end for Khamzat's career. However, those rumors were put to rest when Khamzat stated that he wanted a title fight next. On top of that, he went on to promote a pump and dump scheme for his crypto coin.
Hello guys, there is one crypto coin about me, they call it Smash. Let's smash together guys, let's go.
Although Khamzat is a killer in the octagon and feared by many, his ties with the Russian warlord and inactivity, combined with the desperate crypto scam, is running his stardom into the ground, and he may be on his way out of the UFC.